You have nothing to fear now. Alkosh has returned. Aha! More faithful heed the call. You wish to go to Sunspire Temple and pray before divine Alkosh yourself? Natrada will take you. Oh, a wondrous thing! A true miracle! The Dragon King of Cats, Alkosh incarnate, has descended on the temple to lead his stray kin back to the righteous path. Will you heed his call? No, Walker, a god! The first of the divine litter, Alkosh. Maybe you know him by his other names. Akatosh, dragon god of time, Oriel, all aspects of the first cat. Have faith. When we reach Sunspire, you will see I speak the truth. Hop in my cart when you're ready for the journey, and I will take you to Priestess Shalani. Though it would behoove me to depart with a full cart. Perhaps you'd help Natrada gather more faithful. A dozen would do, but she will take you either way. She is an attendant of the temple who receives the newcomers that this one brings to Alkosh. Natrada is simply a faithful servant, but Shalani can speak for the temple if you have more specific questions. You may think Khajiit only worship the moons and look to the little Thar for guidance, but there are many gods to whom we pray to or appease. Alkosh is chief among them, firstborn of the divine litters. Through him, all time flows. All the divines have a vital role to play. But you could say Alkosh's is the most important. Without him, time would not flow like a river that we mortals can sail, but sit lifeless or churn like a boiling pot. He keeps us from chaos and stagnation. Yes, he's come to deliver us from these turbulent times, but don't take it on my word. When you witness this miracle for yourself, all your doubts will fade. She is an attendant of the temple who receives the newcomers that this one brings to Alkosh. Natrada is simply a faithful servant, but Shalani can speak for the temple if you have more specific questions.
More faithful answer the roar of the first cat. Come, come, welcome.
More fresh faces on their pilgrimage to the divine. Who among our preachers graced you with the good word? Ah, Natrada has a gift for spotting those with faith in their hearts. Let me be the first to welcome you to Sunspire, seat of Alkosh, the Dragon King of Cats. You must be eager to see him for yourself. Then present yourself to our bishop, Azinjo. With his blessing, you may proceed into the temple grounds and have your audience with the divine. May Alkosh grace you with long life and a clear path. Not long, but when I heard of Alkosh's return, I knew I had to come. Now I study the tenets of his faith under the tutelage of Azinjo. He has been here longer than anyone, the last of the original clergy. I am honored to keep the traditions alive. Now is not the first time that Alkosh has appeared before his people. He graced us with his presence on this mountain once before, in similarly dark times. Through his intervention, we were spared from death, and Sunspire was built for his veneration. Just so. To hear Azinjo tell it, this temple was once a thriving center of faith for the Khajiit kingdoms, and with Alkosh's return, it will be so again. Our bishop is a kind and faithful servant of Alkosh. He's watched over this temple almost all his life. If it weren't for his diligence, the traditions of our faith might have died out. But because of his piety and determination, Sunspire is saved. The teachings of Riddletar became the central principles of the Khajiit, and Khajiit took prominence in their hearts. They forgot that before Riddaridata knew the Riddletar, Alkosh was there. Without him, Khajiit would be powerless. Because without Alkosh to keep the rhythms, if they cannot weave the lunar lattice with their movements, then nothing will protect us from Lorkaj and Anor. The bright moons have blinded too many from him.
Alkosh's booming voice reaches farther with every passing day, bringing new pilgrims for me to greet. Come, bring your offerings, and kneel before the great cat returned. Yes, Walker. Divine Alkosh has returned to this perch to call the Khajiit who have strayed back to him. Though any who hear his word and obey are welcome here. Who is Alkosh? Gek! Riddletar has kicked sand over the first cat so long that his name is forgotten. Alkosh is the first divine, the dragon king of cats. Khajiit have strayed from him, but he's returned to right our path. Come, see for yourself. He has called his faithful to his temple, and you have answered. Once you lay your eyes upon divinity, everything will become clear. This way, come, join in our worship and praise Alkosh's return. He is the first cat, winged and glorious, radiant as the sun and eternal. It is only fitting Khajiit follow in his footsteps. Khajiit are close cousins to dragons, you know. Can you not see the resemblance? All the races are children of Nirni, but when Azura made Khajiit Khajiit, she made us in the image of perfection. Alkosh was swift and graceful, but also great and powerful, and clever, and wise. What else could be all these things but a cat? Are we not sleek as the dragon? Do we not have claws sharp as the dragon? Are our eyes not like those of the dragon? Azora was wise to conceal our true nature under silky fur, but we are as near to dragons as cats can be. Alkosh is a protector, Walker. Though many have shamefully forgotten him, he ensures the steady movement of the moons. Without him, Joan and Jode would be locked in place, and terrible things would slip through the... This is his temple, Walker. But not just any temple. It is built upon holy ground. It was on this summit that Alkosh stood and defended us from the White Snake Pelinal. There would be no Khajiit left if not for his divine intervention. Indeed, Walker. Indeed. Long ago, the White Snake terrorized the lands to the north. His hatred of elves knew no end, and they were so hungry for their blood that he saw elves where there were only Khajiit. Khajiit were nearly wiped out by his blind rage. The White Snake stained the savannas in our blood. But Khajiit are natural climbers. They scaled this peak to escape the madman. But what he lacked in grace, he overcame with ferocity. Pila now wrestled with the mountain until he too stood above it. Hearing Khajiit's prayers, Alkosh descended from the heavens like a shooting star. His battle cry split the sky as he cast the Crusader out of elsewhere, and the wound remains as a reminder of the debt we owe. Too few remember that since Riddlestar. If my words were enough for the faithful, then this temple would have overflowed with worshippers long ago. You may doubt my mortal tongue, Walker, but one cannot deny divinity when one sees it. Lay your eyes upon Alkosh, and all will be made clear. Too many Khajiit have been weaned on tales of Riddlestar, and too many years have passed since Alkosh first graced us with his presence. I feared I would leave behind an empty temple. But Alkosh heard my prayers, and came to guide his wayward king. To inspire faith, to restore his temple to glory. Alkosh will put an end to Khajiit's suffering, and lead his people to stand united and strong again.
Brace yourselves. To look upon divinity with mortal eyes may be too much to bear for the uninitiated. I have seen the Dark Elves, living gods. I assure you, they pale in comparison to true divinity.
More have come to serve. Good. Kneel before your god, and I will give you...
It's a trick! He'll make slaves of you! Resist while you can!
Faithless. Put them in their place, then put them to work.
Don't resist. Alkosh will punish you.
Fool! This is our chance for freedom!